Do you love watching underdog stories where an obscure person from a tiny country can rise to stardom by playing music in front of the world? Then you're probably already excited for this year's...
Play Ya Ya Ding Dong!
No, Keetin, we're not going to
Play it!
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of Channeling Hallmark, the podcast where we talk about all the things that make us feel warm and fuzzy, like when you watch your favorite band playing your favorite song, even if that song is Ya Ya Ding Dong. We're your hosts, Dylan Cashbaugh
and Keetin Markey. And today, to celebrate the start of Eurovision on May 13th, we're talking all about the Eurovision Song Contest. Not only are we reviewing the Netflix movie Eurovision Song Contest, the Story of Fire Saga, but we're also talking to one of the finalists from last year's Eurovision, the incredibly talented Silia Kapsis.
But before we do that, Keetin, I know you are itching to try this tea.
Oh, I want to try it.
So let's get to
help
tea
my
time.
skin. It's another Republic of Tea. Sponsors Republic of Tea. It's called Clean Beauty, Beautifying Botanicals, Berry Aloe Tea. Let's try it. Oh, that was a really good one. This is good.
Yeah.
This is
Wait,
good tea.
Sorry, what's the name of this tea?
Clean Beauty.
I feel like this must be a part of like a series from Republic of Tea, because that other one that we loved was called Beauty Sleep, I think.
And this is we like
Whatever
the beauty
this series
teas.
is, they are
just
nailing it with the just soothing, caffeine-free.
It just feels like a spa in my mouth.
That's exactly what we said about the last one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's giving me the same
more
feelings.
spa, maybe a different spa treatment. Maybe this is I don't know enough about spa.
I don't know.
What is
It's
there?
very
There's
good.
massages. There's other forms of massages.
This feels like a hydration face mask in my mouth.
Wow.
And I'm all warm inside now.
Well,
so.
now that you're warm inside, do you want to share some hot cocoa with us?
Sure. I will. Actually, my hot cocoa this week is sitting on the couch next to you, Dylan. My mom, she's in town visiting. We don't have a microphone for her, but she's sitting here watching us record live, cuddling with Ella.
This is our first
Live-
audience that
I
we've
know.
had for a recording.
Yeah, she's not participating, but she is watching, and then she'll get to listen to this and be like, "I was there live."
The question is,
oh my God,
is she
she's
watching
taking pictures
and
of us
judging
too. No, she's taking pictures
Oh,
of
no?
us. Yeah. We celebrated her birthday on May 8th, and then Mother's Day is on Sunday. And you know what was so special for my mom? She got a pope for her birthday, new pope for her birthday from Chicago, and she's from Illinois herself. So
Right.
it's been an exciting trip so far, and it's been great to have her. So
Yeah. She's a very warm and fuzzy person.
she is a
so
very warm and fuzzy person. Yeah, she's blowing kisses right now.
I feel like she also needs to try this tea.
It's so good. I think she'd really enjoy it. Dylan, what's your hot cocoa this week? Is it that your mother-in-law is visiting?
No, because I didn't want to have the same hot cocoa as you. My hot cocoa is a very different kind of thing.
Oh,
But
wow.
it kind of relates to something from this episode.
Oh.
Today, a friend of mine sent me a lovely Instagram post. And that Instagram post was the reveal of a teaser and a title for the next Godzilla and Kong movie.
I literally thought you were going to say Mamma Mia 3,
Oh my
and
God,
I
I
was
wish.
about to fall over
I-
being like, why did I not get
Look,
that?
I love Mamma Mia would be like one of my favorite film franchises ever, but I actually love the Godzilla and King Kong and like the Monster Universe movies because they're just silly fun. And you know what else they have? Is
Dan Stevens.
And Dan Stevens will be back for Godzilla X Kong Supernova.
Oh, man. I still haven't seen the first one he was in.
They
I
are
guess I
all
need to
fun.
watch it.
Like some of them are like actually really good movies, and some of them are just fun, pretty good movies. But they are all just so much fun to get through. I cannot recommend them enough if you just feel like throwing on some good old monster movies.
I don't know if that's what I ever feel like, but sure. To each their own.
Well,
I'm really glad another movie for Godzilla is coming out.
it's
for
making
you, bud.
me excited, even though it's not coming until 2027. So we have some time.
Okay, we do.
We'll see if we review that on Channeling Hallmark.
Well, should we talk about one of our favorite movies?
I cannot wait. Tell me about Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga.
Lars and Sigrid are two musicians living in a small Icelandic town who dream of someday competing in the Eurovision Song Contest, the biggest music competition in the world. And against all odds, and partly with the help of a boat explosion, they actually get to represent Iceland and compete in Eurovision. But after nonstop mishaps and meltdowns, do they have any chance of actually winning?
This 2020 film starring Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams came out during the peak of COVID lockdown and gave the world a level of silliness that I think we all needed. But more than just being a goofy fun time, it also is a love letter to the Eurovision Song Contest. As Americans, we didn't grow up like Lars and Sigrid, watching Eurovision every year. So Keetin, did this movie help to make you a fan of Eurovision?
Absolutely. I mean, and once I kind of started going down the rabbit hole of Eurovision, realizing how many of my favorite artists, specifically ABBA, came from Eurovision or had kind of their big break from Eurovision, I think you as well, we are very much obsessed with it. Every year we look forward to it. I think you said today at some point you compared it to the Olympics, and it's a time when the world kind of sets everything aside and countries that might not even like each other, they all come together because of music. And I think it's a really beautiful thing. And I wish America was allowed to participate. But as we saw during this movie, people in Europe hate Americans, which I kind of get. But yes, I'm a huge fan of Eurovision. And I now talk to any of my European friends about it. And it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I feel like I know America tried to do. I'm blanking on what it was called.
Snoop Dogg and Kelly Clarkson hosted it.
What was
it
that
was
called?
like
It was like
the
the
American Song Contest
Yeah.
or something.
And it was fine. I don't know if it's happening again or if it was just a one-time thing. But it just didn't quite have the same charm as Eurovision. But you can watch Eurovision here. I'm pretty sure it'll be on Peacock again. And we are very excited to watch it. At the time that this releases, it'll be very soon because it's Tuesday, May 13th that it starts, and then there will be a performance the 13th, 15th, and 17th.
Yeah, they have the semifinals and then the finals.
And I'm so excited to watch all of those.
Yeah. Where is it going to be this year? So basically every year, whoever wins, the next year, they hold the contest in that person's home country. Switzerland. So Switzerland won last year. But yeah, so it will be held in Switzerland.
All right, so Keetin.
Yes.
Do you think that Eurovision, the movie, starring Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, accurate? Like, is it a good representation of the Eurovision Song Contest? Or is it just like, oh, silliness?
I think it's definitely a campier version of Eurovision Song Contest. When Will Ferrell is one of the writers of the film you're writing, it's gonna kind of elevate any type of comedy that you get from a normal Eurovision situation, which is a lot of flash and lights, a lot of really weird numbers, some strange songs, but, it's a lot of different cultures coming together, a lot of different people trying to really stand out, give their fresh take on a song. And, I would only hope that we would see a Lars and Sigrid in every Eurovision Song Contest. Because that's what it's about too, right? It's about, I think, allowing unknown artists to have this world stage and highlight them. And especially I like when they lean into their culture of the country that they're representing. I think that's so beautiful, and I like to see it.
Yeah, I feel like this movie does a really good job of. It's very silly and goofy, and they do sort of make fun of themselves and the situation, but I don't think they ever really make fun of Eurovision. I think they're very respectful towards it, and I love the inclusion of so many former contestants within this movie.
Yes, there were so many, some past winners of Eurovision were in there, but the scene that's the song-along scene is... I love that medley. I love it. I think I play that on Spotify often because it's puts kind of some of my favorite ABBA songs together, but it's so much fun, and it's like hey, we're very self-aware of what Eurovision is, and we're going to be silly about it, but they get to the heart of it. They really show the heart of it, and I'm so curious to how Iceland felt that they were the country that kind of took the brunt of it. But again, at the end, like, I think it's the heart behind it makes up for any kind of silliness.
I agree. And maybe it's a little early in the conversation to bring up my thesis statement, but I'm going to anyways.
Sure.
And that is, this movie is so channeling Hallmark. It is these small town kids with big dreams want to get to the biggest stage, and they do. And once they get there, what do they realize? Everything they ever wanted was in their little hometown, and that is what they sing about at the end and celebrate, and all they ever wanted was each other and to live in that small hometown together. I wish that I had the same feelings about my hometown that the characters in this movie have, because I think it is such a beautiful representation of when you have a small town that, sure, maybe it doesn't have these big glamorous concerts and stages and things like that, but it does have a certain charm to it, and I think this captures that so beautifully.
I will say, yes, this movie is so representative of channeling Hallmark and kind of the ideas and even what you see in a lot of Hallmark movies. The one thing on this rewatch, because we watched it with my mom because she had never seen it, that I had never really noticed before, but was very hyperly aware of this time, was how much they talked about penises. And it was more than I ever thought they did.
Is that not a topic you're comfortable discussing around your mom?
I mean, I was very aware of all the penis talk, and I was like, wow, it's in every scene.
It does have a song called Ya Ya Ding Dong, which is one of the prominently featured.
But it's such a good song, but literally every scene, there is a dick joke.
Yeah.
Every scene.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And I never realized that through line was a through line of the movie were dick jokes. But they are. So just be prepared. It's a Hallmark movie with a through line of dick jokes.
Yes, that is true.
But let's talk about this cast, though. Because obviously Will Ferrell, Rachel McAdams, incredible. Both singing, even though they were both mixed with some other professional singers as well for the final mix of the songs. But I remember watching this. I was always like, I can't believe they got Rachel McAdams to do this. She's hysterical in this. And I think the last time I saw her really be this funny was like Mean Girls, which is one of my favorite movies. I forget that's her.
Game Night.
Game Night, she's great in too.
And that's the thing. She is such actress. She has so much range. Like, she can do these completely ridiculous comedic roles, and then these very serious dramatic roles where she gets like Oscar consideration and stuff. She is incredibly talented, and seems like she gives her all, no matter what the role is.
Yeah, and just seems very kind. Another person who is an incredibly talented actor who we always love to see, Dan Stevens, playing the ridiculous Russian.
the soon, star of Godzilla X Kong Supernova, as previously mentioned.
Dan Stevens, who is the Beast in the real live action Beauty and the Beast. And, obviously I loved him from Downton Abbey. That's where I first fell in love with him. But he's so delightful. And Pierce Brosnan, they got James Bond for this, guy.
Another person that is a very serious, well-respected actor who then does kind of silly cameos in Mamma Mia. He also doesn't take himself so seriously that he won't do those goofy roles, and I love that.
Nicest guy. Demi Lovato was in this with a couple jump scares.
So something that I have personally struggled with this movie, because to be clear, love this movie. But I remember the first time that I saw it, I thought, Will Ferrell is nailing the comedy here, but he feels like maybe an odd choice for this character in this movie, because he is a little bit older than Rachel McAdams, and I don't know if I fully believed him in that role in some ways. But I also sometimes I watch it and I love it. So I'm a little torn. So I would love to know what you think about Will Ferrell in this role.
I think he he's the clown of this movie. Like, truly, I think because it is Will Ferrell, and because Will Ferrell has kind of like the comedic cred, he also was a co-writer on this film. I think it's that level of ridiculousness that you need to not try because if it was anybody a little bit more serious, I feel like you might feel like they're making fun of Iceland. But I feel like because he is so over the top, you're like, I think it's just
maybe I just wish it was like 10 to 15 years younger Will Ferrell in it, and then I would find it to be a more believable version of him. But I mean, he was in his 50s, I think, when he did this, wasn't he?
Yeah, this was 5 years ago. Well, that's when it came out, so who knew when it? But and it's funny because Pierce Brosnan plays Will Ferrell's dad, and I was like, wait, what is the age difference between those guys? Because they look about the same age in the movie. It was
14 years. They are 14 years apart.
Yeah, and then Rachel's She was
10 years.
10 years younger than Will. So, which sounds about right.
The other thing that I think we cannot talk enough about this movie, though, is the soundtrack, because this is a movie that I will just throw on when I'm cooking and things because I love the music from it so much. And it has songs like Ya Ya Ding Dong that are very goofy, but also, I mean, Double Trouble I think is great. Volcano Man is a great song. But then like the song at the end, genuinely, I will sometimes tear up just listening to that song. So the fact that it can have songs that are so beautiful that they make me cry, paired with Ya Ya Ding Dong, I think just is such an impressive range of music in this movie.
Well, and I would like to share something that I recently read regarding kind of what the plan for this movie was originally before COVID hit. So
I want to hear. Initially,
this movie was supposed to get a 2-week theatrical release before it came out on Netflix. And so it was meant to, the whole marketing campaign was meant to kick off with music producer Scooter Braun helping announce that Fire Saga was a real Icelandic band with a newly signed record deal. They were going to do this whole marketing campaign with billboards, talk shows appearances, and like a single drop of Volcano Man, which is how they opened the movie, to see if they could break into the Billboard charts. And even, which this is what blows my mind, a Saturday Night Live musical guest stint. And they were never going to say it was Will and Rachel. They were always going to be introduced as Lars and Sigrid.
Of Fire Saga.
Well, yeah. It's like, so it was going to be like Rachel and Will, but like they'd be like, no, well, please welcome Lars and Sigrid. Like, and you're introducing these people, and it was
that would have been so amazing.
And it was supposed to all end with Farrell and McAdams performing as their characters on the final night of the real Eurovision, the same week of the film's planned premiere. And then COVID killed it. Can we just
still have all of these things happen? Maybe like a Eurovision 2 that gets this, because I want all of that.
That would have been COVID. COVID took away so many things. And the fact that it took away that, and now I know about that, is really sad. But they had a lot of really incredible music producers and people working on this film, working on these songs, and even Ya Ya Ding Dong had a lot of people trying to get the right feel for it, and they finally nailed it. But Ya Ya Ding Dong was written, not the song, but like the phrase Ya Ya Ding Dong was written by Will Ferrell. And it was like, hey, make this phrase into a fun bar song. And that's basically was the brief, and then a bunch of producers and songwriters had to submit their things.
Just imagine the team working on that. They're huddled around in a room like, how do we make Ya Ya Ding Dong?
Stop trying to make Ya Ya Ding Dong a thing. It's never going to be. But whoever did it, we played it at our wedding.
I know, yeah. We have friends that also played it at their wedding. It is, among some of our friends, it is a very beloved song.
If there is a DJ at an event, I will request
Ya Ya Ding Dong. Play Ya Ya Ding Dong.
I will shout it, and then I will go up and tell them, I need you to play Ya Ya Ding Dong.
Just like you did in the intro.
Yes.
So, Keetin.
Yes.
How many marshmallows would you give Eurovision?
I would give Eurovision 9 marshmallows. Wow. It makes me laugh. The songs, like even that last scene, every time brings tears to my eyes. Like no matter how many times I listen to it, I watch it, like it punches me in the gut. And it's literally after the most dumb like car race through Edinburgh, Scotland. But yeah, I would give it 9. I think this time with all the penis mentions, I was like, wow, that's a lot. So I would give it a solid 9 marshmallows for Warm and Coke Fuzzy for me. What about for you?
That's a solid rating. But for me, this is a 10 out of 10
Wow.
Marshmallows movie. Though I will say, as a, like, you know, if I were to say the film rating of this, and I would not describe it as a perfect movie, but for me, it does not really get much warmer and fuzzier than this movie. I can throw this, I have thrown this movie on so many times just because I don't know what else to watch and I want something that's going to make me happy. And I know that when I am watching this movie, I'm essentially nonstop smiling and laughing and then occasionally crying, but they're like tears of happiness.
Yes.
So this is 10 marshmallows for me.
And you get shirtless Dan Stevens. So what more could you want?
There's really not much else that you could want in a movie than you get in this fantastic movie.
Amazing. Well, I'm so glad that we got to rewatch. I'm so glad we got to introduce my mom to it. And I'm so excited to talk to our guest, Silia, because she's actually experienced a real Eurovision just last year at 17. So stay tuned because we're going to be having a wonderful conversation with her.
Our guest today is multi-talented musical artist, singer, actress, host, and dancer Silia Kapsis. She's been a regular on Australian Nickelodeon and was even nominated for a Kids' Choice Award. You may also recognize Silia from the 2024 Eurovision Song Contest, where she was the youngest 2024 entrant at only 17 years old. She represented Cyprus and made it all the way to the final with her hit song, Liar. Silia, what did it mean to you to be part of Eurovision?
Hi, everyone, first of all. What did it mean to be part of Eurovision? Okay, so Eurovision has been a huge thing in my family. Like, we are religious on it. Like, we used to watch it every single year since I was, like, 5 years old. And, you know, it's been, like, it was one of my huge influences. And I was always, like, you know, I always used to get up. I remember one year, it was 2018. I'm not sure, I was about 8. 7, I'm not too sure, but I remember watching Eleni Furera, who represented Cyprus, and she was my favorite entry that year. And I remember getting the remote and like started dancing with her, started singing with her. And my grandma was like, you know what, Celia, one day you'll be on that stage. And I was like, you know what, one day I will. Like, I was a bit of a confident girl back then. Still am, but like, you know. Anyway, and funnily enough, I got scouted from a Greek producer in Greece. He's very big in Greece. And he saw me on Instagram. He saw that I, you know, created my own music. I produced music videos. And he was like, this girl can sing, dance, and act. So she's also Cypriot and Greek. Let's take her on board. And I was like, this is crazy because I didn't have to audition. So I was like, you know what? I'm there. Like, I'm ready. I'm prepared. So that was a huge kind of door that opened into my life, my career. And after Eurovision, that, you know, was like a domino effect of more doors opening. So I'm super grateful for it. But it was an experience that I will never forget, for sure.
Well, and you obviously made your mark on that stage, getting all the way to the finals. And obviously the competition lasts for a while. So tell us a little bit about kind of what the process of the competition is and kind of your experience with it and how it made you feel through each stage.
People think it's like, okay, semifinals, second semifinals, then finals, grand finals. No, there is preparation. There is rehearsals. It was a struggle for me because I had to sing a big song while dancing at the same time. So it took me about 2 months to like kind of get into, you know, cardio and kind of singing while running on a treadmill, trying not to, you know, level out my voice while doing these big movements. So it took me about 2 months to properly kind of get to where I got to before going to Eurovision. There were tough times, I will say, because the choreography was full on. You know, we went to LA actually to get the dance choreographed by Guy Groove and Kelly Sweeney. They're incredible. Love them. I've been dancing with them since I was 12. So, you know, it was like another thing for me, like, you know, but yeah, it was crazy, you know, had to hit those notes, had to remember the choreography. So it took a few months before we actually got to Sweden. And when we did get to Sweden, it was 2 weeks before the show.
Wow.
So we had time to, you know, go onto the stage and, you know, do our rehearsals, but it would be like 30 minutes and then you cut down to 20, cut down to 15, because you know, obviously get used to it. So you'd have to be on the time crunch. You were on a time crunch. And it was like you do a run through.
Yeah.
And they give you 2 minutes, like they talk about, you know, lighting and positioning and cameras and whatnot. And then they go again. And I'm like, I'm puffed. Like I'm on the floor because I had to do this full out for each rehearsal or else it wouldn't work. Everyone had to see how it would look, how it would sound. So it was full on for me, but thank God I did, you know, the training beforehand so I could, you know, prepare myself to just go. But yeah, it was the best experience, and there is a lot of preparation that goes into it. There are errors, like there were problems with lighting, there were problems with camera angles, like there are always going to be changes. So we also, me and my dancers, had to adapt to where we would look or where we had to stand. So I kind of had to think about how to sing, how to dance, like hit the notes, where, like my choreography, where to look at the cameras, where to stand, because I had little stickers on the floor to tell me where to stand because of the water that was happening on the floor and the movement.
Yeah.
So I had to be in the right position. So this is why it took a little more time than just like, oh my God, yes, semifinals, grand finals, we're done, you know? So a lot of time and preparation gets into it. But, you know, then you hit the stage, you do your semifinals, you go to the green room, you don't get through, you get through. And when you get through, you have, you know, 3 days to kind of simmer down, keep practicing, but relax the voice. And then we're back to the finals. And there you are.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it was quite a whirlwind journey in a lot of ways, and like just
Crazy.
nonstop. Did you still have any moments that you could kind of take it all in and think, all right, 7-year-old Silia would be so happy right now if she could see this? Like, did you have moments to reflect like that?
I did. Very minimal though, but I did. No, definitely. I had moments to reflect. I had to, you know, kind of be like, look, have fun. Like this is not only like, of course you're working hard and you want to do a great job and you're not only doing this for yourself, but for a whole country. But, you know, you've just got to take a moment and be like, look, not many people get to do this in their lifetime. I think you just got to enjoy it and have fun. And there are so many videos and behind the scenes of me and my dancers, like breaking it down in our dressing room, you know, playing some Chris Brown or whatnot, and, you know, dancing around. And we just had, like, I honestly had the best time. And although there were tough times and there were, you know, like having to get it right and having to do a good job, I kind of took that pressure off me a little when I was, you know, like just trying to simmer down a little bit. But no, I had an incredible time, and little Silia will be proud. Yes.
Good.
I have to ask you, because you seem, even before you started on with the Eurovision journey, you've seemed so involved in your own creativity with your songs, with what your style is, your look, your vibe, basically. How much were you involved in kind of your entire performance and visually, like with the water, like, and all of that stuff for Eurovision? Did you have a huge hand in that? Because it felt like you did, because I just feel like that's the type of artist you are, but maybe I read that wrong.
No, you're completely right. Yeah, I definitely did. Not a whole lot, but because I kind of gave them, like, I gave them my style. I gave them, like, what I like. They know, like, they've done research on me. They looked at my music videos. They're like, okay, this girl is hip hop, pop. She wants to, like, it's now new generation kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I didn't, like, they gave me the song. So I didn't have a say, but there were 3 songs that they did kind of show me, and I was like, okay, this is the one that most resonates with me, and I think I'll pull it off. So I did choose Liar for that reason. The water wasn't my idea, but I loved it. And definitely the choreography, I chose the choreographers. So they asked me, they were like, okay, we know you have a specific style. Who would you like? And I was like, this and this. And they were like, let's do it. So I had a huge hand in that, which I was so happy about, because that for me was the most important. And clothes, even, like, they showed me, you know, the outfit, like just the sketch, and I already loved it. Like it was like kind of me. I loved the long pants, baggy kind of vibe, but at the same time nice and tight around so you can see my muscles when I dance. So it was just, everything worked out. And no, I was actually super happy, and the team was insanely amazing. The best team. I could not have asked for better. And like, I consider those people like my family till this day. So, you know, not only did I have a good time, I had a good team, which was the best, and I worked with good people. So I'm super happy about that.
So thinking about life since Eurovision, how has your life changed after being a part of it? Was that a pretty kind of directional moment for you from then?
Yeah, it was a significant change for sure. Again, doors like kind of opened straight away after Eurovision, and I got to, you know, perform in different countries in Europe, which was insane. Like, I've never been to these countries before. And, you know, they were on my bucket list, and I was like, hey, I get to go here and, you know, perform and do what I love. So yeah, definitely a lot of performances, and I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of propositions, which was cool too. But, you know, still going, still like cracking on. And, you know, I'm going, I think I'm leaving in June from Australia, and I'm going to Amsterdam to write a few songs, get connected with some people. So, you know, I'm excited for that. But yeah, doors definitely opened. And I think my style kind of evolved and changed just a little bit more mature. I am 18 now. Woo! No, but I wanted to stay young forever. I wanted to stay 17 for the rest of my life. But look, we get old. That's how it goes. But yeah, no, definitely a lot of doors opened. Super grateful for that. And I got more than I thought I would get, to be honest. Because, you know, you hear stories like, okay, you're on Eurovision, and then after Eurovision's done, nothing happens. Yeah. You either skyrocket, or you either just go. And for me, I'm just like kind of taking baby steps, you know. I haven't gone doom, but I haven't gone doom. So I'm kind of like slowly, like smoothly going with the flow. Everything happens for a reason, and I feel like, you know, it's just baby steps for me, and I don't think I can, you know, just drop. I think you just go up from here, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and I feel like I met you, like 3 years ago. I think you were 15 at the time, on Jennifer Hudson. And I was lucky enough to be able to cast you to dance with the amazing Twitch. And it was so incredible, and you blew me away that day. But then to kind of find out that you've been working at your kind of multiple talents since you were a kid, has, you know, even when you were 7 and your grandma was like, hey, someday you're going to be on this stage. Tell us a little bit about the journey to being this incredible dancer that you are, being this incredible singer. You're an actress, you're a host. You kind of do it all. What got you into it, and how has that journey been for you now at only 18?
Yeah, crazy. By the way, that dance battle was crazy. Loved it. I had the best time. I was like, I'm going to get out there, and I was like, Twitch, come, let's see.
You killed it, girl.
So good. I had the best time. Yeah, look, I have been like doing this from a young age, and apparently as a child, I was like, I wasn't bearable. Like, even in the stomach, apparently my mom was like having issues, and she was like, why is my baby moving 24/7? Is she okay? Like, is there something wrong with her? And, you know, she went to the doctors, and they were like, you're just going to have a tough child, like bringing her up. She's going to be a bit of a crazy one. So she wasn't wrong. And, you know, my mum was like, you know what? She dances and prances around the house. She sings. She likes to listen to opera. So let's take her to dance lessons, singing lessons. And apparently I didn't want to leave the lessons. So I wanted to stay there all day, every day. And my mum was like, okay, this is what she wants to do. So, you know, from the age of 5, I was like straight on it, you know, always, you know, like if there was a birthday party, they'd be like, hey, it's on Saturday. I'm like, sorry, I've danced all day that day. Can't go. It was always
Such
one
a
of those.
professional.
Yeah, I was so like, driven to like become the best dancer, the best singer I could be. So, always practice. But yeah, I mean, my uncle, he's an actor as well. So he was like, we should get Celia into acting since she's such a good performer on stage. When I was younger, Mum was like, that's not a bad idea. So, we got an acting agent, definitely did a lot of auditions, got a few roles, which was great, got a short film. And then I got, being a Nickelodeon presenter, which was also incredible. That was actually one of my like dreams, to be like a presenter on Nickelodeon. Like for me, that was like
awesome.
wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and kids, looked up to us, and, it was just like, honestly, a dream. But yeah, just continued on, like, and then I started, writing music when I was 12. And my mum was like, why don't you let's make a song? Like, let's do it. Mum was a huge, like, she was my number one supporter.
Yeah. Mom seems like she has been like, what do you want to try? Yes, let's do it.
Yeah,
or what do you
amazing.
want to try to do? That's incredible.
No, she's the best. I'm so grateful for that as well, because like, some parents out there, don't really like, it depends, they might not really like what their child is wanting to pursue or support them as much, but I've got the best mum, so I am so grateful for that. But yeah, so started creating some songs, writing, went to a producer, did my first song, Who Am I, which is a tough one to listen to now, but it's close to me because I wrote it all myself, and who am I? It's kind of about me. Who am I as an artist? Like, who do I want to be? So, and like, it's kind of an identity kind of change and like question. So yeah. And then from then on, I kind of wrote more songs, stuck to this other producer I found in Australia who is like my style. And then, Mum was like, let's do music videos. And I was like, let's do them. So every time we were in LA, we'd get my favorite videographer, Monse, to, do our music videos. And I got all my dance friends from LA to be in them. And we had these cute little concepts for each of them. So, it's always been a creative kind of vibe with me.
Yeah.
And I don't like sitting down. I want to be doing stuff. I want to be creating things, So, yeah, it's always been a passion of mine. And Eurovision was just like another like crazy thing to add to, my career. And it was the best. It was honestly unforgettable. So yeah.
I mean, you've done so much at only 18 years old. I mean, you've been performing for like all your life. You said you've been writing songs now for 6 years. How, I guess, would you describe your music style as someone that is kind of still evolving and growing in a lot of ways?
So I have a lot of influences, but some people, like, when I say them, they're like, oh, really? They're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, did you not know? So I am with like more the pop, dancey beat, but like include some R&B here and there. But my huge inspiration is Michael Jackson. And then it goes down to the Beyoncés and the J-Los and the Ariana Grandes. But yeah, I think my music stems from like little bits and pieces from those influences.
Well, even just listening to because we've been like listening to your music nonstop. It's been going on. We've been dancing, but you have like, there was one song we put on. I was like, oh my God, this sounds like Camila Cabello. And then like when I watch you dance, and I know that you are such a strong dancer, I'm like, oh, that's like Tate McRae. And you have kind of this cool hipness to you that Tate, I think, has brought into kind of the music scene. And then like I look at your choice of like Eurovision outfit, I was like, I feel like this feels like a nod to Britney Spears back in like early 2000s. And I was like, I love that she's bringing this like Gen Z like version of Britney to us with the singing, the dancing. And like, you can sing, girl. Like, you might be dancing and stuff, but like I've heard you sing some incredible ballads. And it's like, talk about triple threat, truly.
Oh, thank you. Wait, that means so much. But yeah, definitely with like the Tate McRae and the Britney Spears, that's also, I even forgot to mention them. Tate McRae's definitely brought that into the music industry, which I think is so good, so great, and everyone's loving it. Like that is like the new generation kind of vibe, and I think that's kind of what I want to bring as well, but maybe more hip hop esque.
Yeah.
So, and definitely with the Britney Spears, I got so many comments from all these Eurovision fans saying, this is our new Britney Spears. This is our new Britney Spears. This is like every single comment section. Like, I'm not even joking. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And then I kind of saw it and I was like, oh, wait, like they're not wrong. So, yeah, no, definitely. You grab little bits and pieces from artists and kind of make it into your own thing. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're incredible.
I mean, it seems like hearing your backstory, this makes sense, but it does seem like you've kind of arrived on the music scene almost already like fully able to do everything in so many ways. So many people, they start and they can sing, but they have to learn how to dance. And then, music videos, that's a whole nother thing in performance. But like from the moment you arrived, you've had singing, you've had dancing, music videos you're nailing. You can perform obviously with your Eurovision performance. So I mean, what is next for you? Are we going to get an album anytime soon? Maybe? I don't know.
Definitely. But me going to Amsterdam now is kind of another door that's opened, and I'm hoping it's going to go great. So we'll see. But a label's contacted. Can't say too much.
Don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah.
But in the end, I definitely want to end up in America. So I want to go global, and I know it's a huge thing, but I want to do it. Like, I'm so adamant on doing it. So, I definitely want to end up in America somehow. And I want to be doing what I love and traveling. So yeah, it's a huge dream for me. But, like you were saying, like with the music videos and like having to do all these things that I wanted to do, it wasn't easy. Like with mum, especially, she had to research. She was like, okay, how do we make a new music video? Who do we need? How does this work? Even, yeah, I'm still an independent artist. Yeah. So always have been, and it's worked well for me so far. But now things are changing. So, got to get onto it. But, yeah, a lot of time went into this. It was not easy. A lot of research, even how to upload a song on Spotify. Like, it's just, we did everything on our own and we did a good job. Yeah. So,
and that is so amazing. Like, there are artists like, let's bring up Tate McRae, who like had a label backing her that like allowed her to like get to those points so quickly. You've done this on your own. The fact that you have been able to create such a polished look, sound, everything is just so impressive. So well done.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks.
And at such a young, I mean, it's down to the support system you must have, your taste and your talent, because you've made it to the world stage, like with your independent team. And I think a lot of it's so hard to do that. And again, your songs that you've come out with, even before having a label, you're killing it. Like it's great. And I have a quick question. This is going to go back a little bit, but okay. Because some people might be confused, but you are from Australia. You were born and raised in Australia, and yet you represented Cyprus at Eurovision. Tell us like how that happened and why that happened, because I know you have a very strong background from where your family's from.
Yeah, so I am Greek and I am Cypriot. There was actually a little bit of we don't know who she's going to represent, because they were like, okay, Cyprus wants you. But then we're thinking, well, you're Greek, so we'll pitch you out to Greece as well. So they want you too. So it was kind of like which one? So so grateful that Cyprus chose me. But a background for me is like a huge thing. It's been a huge thing in my family for a while. And since, obviously we're all, we all came from Greece. Mum was born in Greece. So, it's a huge thing that I got to do Eurovision and kind of represent my culture. But yeah, I was born and raised in Australia, because my family did move from Greece to Australia to, better life and whatnot. And yeah, but I travel a lot. I come to LA, dance training, singing training, seeing my friends, making connections. But I will be in Europe a lot as well. So it's just like I'm everywhere. Like,
well, yeah, you're an international. She's an international superstar. So of course you're going to be everywhere.
Not yet.
We're getting there. We're manifesting. We're manifesting.
Yes.
Celia, have you ever seen the movie Eurovision?
Yes.
How-
Yes, I just watched it.
You did. How similar?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that movie is a little ridiculous, but in watching that movie and actually having been a contestant in Eurovision, like, were there any parts of that movie where you're like, oh my God, that's exactly how it is, or oh my God, that's not it at all what it's like?
I'm not joking. That is exactly how it is.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Do you hang out and do song-alongs? Because that's my favorite scene in that movie.
Look, we've in the back room, you know, when everyone has their little dressing rooms, we come out with there's couches, there's like the Moroccan oil stand, and everyone's just together, and like, let's say someone puts a song on it, we're just all vibing to it and we're all singing to it. Like, I'm not even joking, but even like the crazy things that happen in that movie, like even crazier happen at Eurovision, even crazier, because you're getting different people from different countries and cultures coming together, different personalities. What do you expect? Like, it's going to be an insane kind of culture shock. So it was exactly how it is at Eurovision even more. Like, it's insane.
That's
but
amazing.
I think that's like the beauty of it as well.
Yeah.
In the best way possible, because you get to meet so many personalities and different cultures, and like, it's a laugh. Like, you have fun.
Good.
And, you know, we all have the same interest. So, you know, music is our interest. Music unites. That is, you know, Eurovision's logo. So, yeah.
Are you going to be watching this year? And is there anyone you're rooting for?
Definitely watching this year. There will be a little surprise for this year. Can't say, but there's a little surprise. But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for people. I do like a few of the contestants. I think their performances are great, but this year's staging is insane. Like, why didn't we have this last year? I was like, excuse me, 2024. Like, what's happening? No, the staging this year is actually incredible. Like, my jaw dropped when I saw some of the staging. I think it's going to be a great year. I think it's going to be a strong year. Excited to watch it. And yeah.
Would you do it again?
Definitely would do it again. Yeah. If it was for Australia, Cyprus, or Greece, I don't care. I'll do it again. Like,
Love it.
It also depends where I am in my life and how in my career. Maybe I can't do it again, but I think I definitely would want to, for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, you'll be too busy with the world.
I know.
tour
You're
soon,
just,
so.
you're going to be just kind of performing all over the world, winning so many Grammys, like. Probably
Manifesting.
Yes, we're manifesting. You want to do some hot cocoa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing we do on the show is we have something called hot cocoa, where we share something that we recently encountered that we feel like kind of made us feel warm and fuzzy, optimistic. Maybe it was like a news thing that we saw, or just a social media post, or just something we experienced. Like, oh, I saw a fluffy dog and that made me happy.
Yeah, cute.
But we like to ask our guests if they have any hot cocoa that they've experienced recently that they want to share.
I have hot cocoa. Yeah. So, you know, recently it was Easter. Happy Easter, by the way.
Happy Easter.
I'm Greek Orthodox, so, you know, it was good to kind of get back into like reality, and, you know, kind of like let's not focus on the career. Let's just get back. Let's, you know, praise Jesus and all this stuff. So, you know, I was like kind of, you know, Jesus died on the cross for us, and it was like kind of a crazy thing for me. You know, I was scrolling through my For You page and I was seeing TikToks of the film Chosen, The Chosen.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to watch that, because honestly, I was like in tears when I saw one of the scenes from it. And I think, you know, Jesus loves us, and he's incredible. And I think that is my hot cocoa, and that just made me realize how loved I am. Yeah, we've just got to stop worrying. We got to just live our life, and you know, he gave us this life for a reason. So, that's my hot cocoa.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you brought up The Chosen because
Yeah.
literally a dear friend of ours who was on one of our episodes, he is one of the main cameramen of The Chosen.
Yeah.
So that we will let him know
The
he has
second
a
time
fan.
The Chosen has come up on
I
this
know.
series.
I
Yeah.
know. We'll let him know that he has a fan in Australia.
I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, I know he's incredible, and he's told us all these amazing stories about filming that series and how just he feels so fortunate to be on it. So it's an amazing hot cocoa. So you're in a good place. What can you tell us that is coming up for you that you can plug? If people want to follow your music, where can they follow it? And what can they look out for?
Okay, got you. So actually, I released a song a month ago. It's called What's Your Name Again? I also have a music video for that. It's doing really well on YouTube. But you will definitely be hearing new music, be watching new music videos, and travel performances. But a lot of good things are happening. So yeah.
Where can people follow you on social media and YouTube?
Silia_Kapsis on Instagram, Silia_Kapsis on TikTok, and Silia Kapsis on YouTube.
No underscore on YouTube.
No underscore on
Okay.
YouTube. But yeah, Silia Kapsis. You'll find me.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Celia. Again, seeing your star rise since I got to meet you a few years ago has just been such a joy. And I just wish you all the frickin' luck in the future. I hope to see you when you're back in LA again. And as soon as I know you're on a world tour, I'm buying tickets. So first in line right here. But
VIP. I got you.
Oh man.
That was our interview with Silia Kapsis, and that is our Eurovision-themed episode of Channeling Hallmark. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, because we had a lot of fun on this episode. And if you did have fun and want to keep listening, then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And Keetin, what else should people do?
Well, you should watch Eurovision this week. You can stream it on Peacock, vote for your favorites. But you should also follow us on all of the social platforms. And when I say all, I mean Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube.
All the ones that matter.
All the ones that matter. At Channeling Hallmark, you can follow Dylan and I both on our individual Instagrams at Keetin Markey and at DP Cashbaugh.
And you can follow me on Letterboxd at DP Cashbaugh.
What does this movie rate for you in your letterbox?
I will figure that out. By the time this episode releases, my Letterboxd review will be available, so I will have figured it out by then. But again, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. And in the meantime, don't forget to channel Hallmark in your life.
Stay cozy, y'all. Bye-bye.
Channeling Hallmark is an independently produced podcast and is neither sponsored nor sanctioned by Hallmark or any other entity. Thank you for listening.